皆さん、また来てくださってありがとうございます。こちら、マンハッタン、ニューヨーク、金曜日の午後です。ということでね、今日はね、ニュースっていうよりは、そのアメリカの一般人がどう思ってるかというか、そのニュースを訳して、ニュースアンカーがこう言ってるとか、そういうことと離れて、一般人が今の社会をどう思ってるかっていう感じで、前回、Oh my gosh, Jake! って言った彼女たちのを挙げています。このね、二人はね、すごく面白くって、いろんなトピックを出してるんですね。で、それに関して、これ本当に一般人が、これ言ってほしかったって思ってるようなことを言ってるお姉さん二人なんですよ。で、今回はまた CNN がバイデンの嘘をこれそろそろやめた方がいいんじゃないのって言ってるのを上げてたんですね。つい最近の演説で。で、それも上げています。で、この今日の動画の中で2つ言葉が出てくるんですね。で、これは、1個はガスライティングっていう言葉で、ガスライティングっていう言葉、これは本当は心理虐待の1個なんですよ。で、間違った情報をいろんな形で植え込んで、相手が正しい判断をできなくさせることなんですね。もうすでにこれ正しいって分かってることを、いっぱいたくさんの間違った情報とか、そこから真実から目をそらさせたりして、自分が思ってるように誘導する心理虐待なんですね。で、これが出てくるのがガスライティング。で、もう一個がゴールディロックスっていう言葉が出てくるんですよ。ゴールディロックス経済って。で、このゴールディロックスっていうのは、もともとは童話でゴールディロックスちゃんと3匹のクマっていうのなんですね。で、このゴールディロックスちゃんってが、お粥を食べるんですけど、すんごい熱いお粥とすんごい冷たいお粥があって、そのどちらも取らずに真ん中のちょうどいい具合を取ったっていう話なんですよ。で、私はこれ知らなかったんですけど、世界的に有名な話らしいんですね。だからちょうどいい塩梅っていうことをゴールディロックスの原理っていうらしいんですね。でもちなみに経済学におけるゴールディロックスの原理っていうのは、経済の緩やかな持続的成長と低インフレ率のことを言うんですよ。だからこの教授が言ってらっしゃることは全く当てはまらないんですね。低インフレ率でもないし、持続的成長している経済はないんですね、今のアメリカには。なので全くおっしゃっていることは違っているんです。ということで、それを踏まえてみてください。あとはね、カマラハリスがどうしてそんなに人気ないのってきっと多くの方思ってると思うんですよ、日本の方。なので、そのカマラハリスの印象、例えば今回のハワイの、災害があった時にカマラハリスだったらこうなんだろうなっていうパロディを一般人がやってて、みんなすごい納得して見ていたので、それとあとジョー・ローガンが、トランプさんのことについて語っているのも一緒に載っけておきます。だから普通の常識人はみんなこういうほぼこういう考えですっていうイメージで見てください。それではどうぞ。
So, a couple of folks from CNN talking about the now infamous train story. We've heard this story a million times. It's been debunked a million times. And yet just yesterday, Biden told it again. Here's a little breakdown.
Well, sometimes President Biden just cannot stop himself. During a speech today about the economy, he told at least two lies that have already been debunked. Daniel Dale is back after a good stretch with another fact check. Daniel, so we know the president loves the trains. He loves Amtrak. He's told this same story several times about a conversation that he claims that he had during his vice presidency with an Amtrak conductor named Angelo Negri. Let's listen to it.
And so I'm getting on a train to go home and see my mom, who was sick and in hospice at my home. And this guy, I won't mention his name because I will get him in trouble, but one of the senior guys in Amtrak who I rode with all the time comes up and goes, "Joey, baby," grabs my cheek. I said, "What's the matter, Angie?" He said, I just read this thing about over a million miles on Air Force planes. He said, "Hell, you know how many miles you travel on Amtrak?" I said, "No, Angie, I don't know." He said, "We just had a retirement dinner up in Newark." He said, You traveled average 117 days a year, round trip, 300 miles a day. 36 years, that's 1,285,000 miles. I don't want to hear any more about the Air Force. True story. I swear to God.
No, it's not. Well,
True story. All right, what is the truth?
It's not a true story, and it was false in 2021 when I did a fact check pointing out it was false then. President Biden has repeated over and over since. So it's false in two ways. First of all, this conversation about the million miles flying milestone could not have happened because Mr. Negri, who was an Amtrak conductor, was deceased at the time it would have had to occur. He passed that milestone, the vice president, in September 2015. Mr. Negri died more than a year prior in 2014. The second false element, Victor, is the president said that his mother was sick at the time in hospice in his home. In fact, she had died more than 5 years prior to him reaching that million miles flown milestone on Air Force Two. So two false elements. Now, I did speak in 2021 to Mr. Negri's stepdaughter. She said they were indeed friends. Her late stepfather adored Mr. Biden, spoke of him often. So there was a relationship there. But look, I've counted at least 9 times as president that Biden has told this story about his friend that is just inaccurate. So it's probably time he retires it.
The president's talking to dead people. It's fine. You guys, everything's fine. We're okay. Everything's fine. It's nothing to see here. It's fine. It's just, we're okay. It's just talking to dead people. And he swears to God. It's a true story. He swears to God.
He swears to God. And so if it's this easy for him to lie about meaningless shit that doesn't impact anything.
About his family.
Yeah. Then you know how easy it is for him to lie to the American people about literally anything.
Anything.
And this next one, I had never heard this story. This is also a lie. But the same CNN folks break down another lie told in the exact same speech, by the way, because he just can't stop. As they said earlier, here's the story that I've never heard about his grandfather.
Seems like a favorite of his. The president also repeated a version of a family story he told in April about his grandfather's death being just days before his own birth at the same hospital. Let's listen to that.
By the way, my grandpa Biden died very young. He died in the hospital I was born in 6 days before I was there.
This is an economy speech, by the way. I just want people to know why the president is there. What can you tell us about this?
So this one is also false in two ways. His late grandfather, who was an oil executive, Joseph H. Biden, died more than a year before he was born.
Oh my God.
So not a few days or a couple weeks, as he's previously said. And in a different hospital. His late grandfather died in Baltimore. President Biden was famously born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I have no idea what the point of this false claim is. Sometimes people get false stories from family members, but it's the second time he's done it. He was fact-checked the first time, so again, it's time he stops.
Yeah, retire that one too. Daniel Dale, thank you. Good work tonight.
I mean,
The Big Short.
It's interesting that CNN is doing this, right?
Right.
That interests me. 2, I mean, it just shows you that if you repeat a lie enough times, you believe it to be true. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's dementia. He's probably been saying these lies for years.
Yeah.
He's probably just spewing this stuff out of his face. Like, oh, I just believe it to be true. He probably spewed these lies before he had dementia. And he just says this stuff. Like, it doesn't even bother him. The dude has lied his whole life. I mean, he plagiarized his way through law school. He has no problem lying. Like, it doesn't even bother him. And nobody holds him accountable for his lies.
Yeah.
So think of all the things that he's lied to the American people about. And Democrats are like, that's fine. And they don't care. To the Democrats, lying is fine, you guys. Like, they don't think lying is a big deal. As long as it gets them the power that they want, they're okay with lying. I mean, it's completely gross.
And the Inflation Reduction Act was really all about, and John Podesta does not mince words about it.
We have to cut the carbon pollution that's driving the climate crisis, and that's what the Inflation Reduction Act is all about.
Oh, it's not about reducing inflation, silly. Why
Right.
would you think that when the name is Inflation Reduction Act?
Right.
Well, this one is good because there's a reporter who says, hey, nobody actually believes that the Inflation Reduction Act is working for them. So, like, what do you say to that?
Polls keep showing that people are broadly unhappy with the president's handling of inflation in particular. And the president has said he wished he didn't call this the Inflation Reduction Act. What should you call it?
Well, he said, following that sentiment, because I think it's a complicated bill, that it also has reduced costs. And I think it's very important to note that
What
both
costs?
on healthcare and, as I noted, on the energy side, we've already seen costs coming down.
Where are the costs?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Exactly. They need to give us examples. And that's the thing. Where in the press room are the people that are saying where?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they coming down? I need some follow-up questions. Where are the freaking journalists? Where are the qualified journalists, the good ones? Saying, okay, so where? Give us an example.
Right.
Where's an example of that? And go. Lizard Man has nothing. I bet you he would be like, I don't know.
I mentioned earlier that there was one economist, Robert Reich in particular, who actually says that the economy is so good that it's like a Goldilocks economy. Here he is explaining.
They are trying to deflect attention from the fact that the economy is great. It's the Goldilocks economy. I'll tell you, I've been watching or participating in economic policy for at least 30 years, and I don't recall an economy that is this good. But the American public, the Republicans basically want to, what, do they want to talk about wokeism? What is that? They want to talk about critical race theory? I mean, I don't think most of the country really cares about this stuff, but it is a deflection that at least among certain people in certain parts of this country is deflecting attention from what's really going on.
Is it? It's unbelievable. The gaslighting.
Right?
It's remarkable. People are living paycheck to paycheck. Prices are like at an all-time high. Mortgage rates are insane.
Oh my God.
I mean, people
started.
rent prices are out of control. We've never seen anything like it. And this guy has the audacity to say that it's a freaking Goldilocks. What in the world?
It's the best he's seen in 30 years.
He's got Yellen's mushrooms. There's no. That's what it is. They're all doing the shrooms, you guys. All of them. Everybody's high. All of them. I can't with these people. It's like you can only take so much gaslighting.
Right.
You know, you can only take so much when people are lying directly to your face, and they're like, you have to believe the lies. Like, why don't you believe the lies? But this is actually, it's not happening. It's none of the things that they're saying is actually happening. Like, I can only take so many people gaslighting me until
they can't think that this, I mean, I'm sure it works with some dumb people, but like, they can't actually believe that people are going to be told to just not believe their bills, not believe their ears and eyes and what they see and feel in the economy every day. Don't believe that. Just listen to what the words are coming out of the admin and then believe. Who does that? Who's like, I'm going to ignore the fact that gas is $4 and I can't afford groceries and just believe that everything is great? Who does that?
Some Democrats do.
Wow.
Some Democrats do. But I mean, it's just, and again, that's why they continue to vote for this crap.
My God.
Yeah.
It's just idiotic. Hawaii questioning when the government is going to come and help. Here it is.
You guys, we did it. We got help on the way. All your help, sharing that video, liking, commenting. We got it. I'm so excited. The government, we finally have someone from the government here, and I am just so excited. Check this out.
I'm here. Aloha.
Oh my gosh.
The government is here. We're here to help.
Oh my God. On a green screen?
What in the world?
Anyway, I want to thank you, Madam President. I mean, wait, that's what Joe calls you. Thank you, Madam Vice President. We're here in Maui. There's so many people displaced. There's so many people struggling. What are you guys going to do to help us here in Maui?
So here's the thing, right? Hawaii is an island. And, you know, it's surrounded by water. Okay. And sometimes when water is too wet, you have to unburden what has been, and sometimes a fire starts.
Right, we understand that, but what can we expect from the military or the government in terms of support?
So in terms of help, hold on. What we can do is finish helping Ukraine, right? Because I gotta tell you, I mean that's way more important because that one keeps Biden out of prison.
That's true. Very true.
Okay, so you're going to support Ukraine over supporting the 50th state and the most amazing islands on the planet, Hawaii. Doesn't really make much sense. Also, hey, think about it this way. Joe could be closer to his son if he goes to jail. Just saying.
And once we galvanize what has been, we'll be able to unburden everything that these direct energy planned attacks have burdened you with. But with that, I'd like to leave you on this note. Mele Kawiki Malaka. Alright, this is great stuff. I'm gonna go. Yeah, Mexico has tacos. Let's see what they're doing down there.
Oh my god. Good. She's so good.
If you run against Trump, you're now the enemy of Trump. If I was friends with DeSantis, I'd be like, don't do it. You can't beat that guy. You just can't. When that guy gets out there and he's waving to people and they're going crazy, you're not beating that. There's and the fact that he was the president for 4 years and the country was in a great economic situation, and it looked like his policies were actually effective, and that it looked like the unemployment was down, all business was building, regulations were being relaxed, more things were getting done. When you look at it from a policy perspective, if you just look at it on paper, what he did was effective. They're all in on Trump.